Have you ever felt like you're just grinding away trying to be productive, but instead of feeling accomplished, you end up exhausted and burnt out? If you've ever wondered if there's a way to actually enjoy the process of getting things done, then this video is for you. Hi, this is Life Actually by Celine, where I'm just trying to figure out this whole life thing and sharing the lessons and some good books along the way with my coffee. So I actually read this book back in December last year as soon as it got published in the States, and I think this book might just change how we think about productivity. Imagine a world where being productive doesn't feel like a chore, but something that actually makes you feel good. This is what Ali Abdaal's Feel Good Productivity is all about. So in the book, he shares 54 different experiments and methods to be productive while feeling good. And this book has 3 parts: Energize, Unblock, and Sustain. So in this video, I will be sharing the key takeaways from these 3 parts. Part 1, Energize. Do you remember when we were kids spending entire days playing outside? We rode bikes until the sunset, climbed trees with endless enthusiasm, and swung from branches without a care in the world. Our energy seemed limitless, driven not by goals but by pure curiosity and the joy of exploration. Ali Abdaal begins this part by reflecting on this childhood freedom and this feeling of play, emphasizing how reconnecting with that spirit can profoundly boost our productivity and well-being. One of the key components of the Energize section is the concept of play. Ali suggests finding ways to make tasks fun and less stressful is the key. This could involve gamifying your work, turning tasks into games with rewards and challenges, or integrating hobbies into your routine. For instance, if you enjoy music, you could create a playlist that matches the energy of the tasks you're working on. By making work more enjoyable, you naturally become more productive and reduce stress. But that's not everything. Another crucial element is power. When you feel empowered and confident, your performance increases. Ali discusses the importance of building on your strengths and seeking out challenges that actually push your limits. By taking on tasks that play to your strengths, you boost your confidence and feel more in control. Celebrating small wins along the way can also help to build momentum and keep your motivation high. And the third component is people. Social connections are vital for maintaining that energy and motivation. Ali emphasizes the importance of surrounding yourself with positive, supportive people who can actually lift you up and inspire you. Whether it's collaborating with colleagues, seeking mentorship, or simply spending time with friends and family, social interactions can provide the energy boost you need to stay productive. Because people can fill us with energy and motivate us to perform better. Now we learned how to energize ourselves with play, power, and people. Let's move on to part 2, Unblock, which focuses on seeking clarity, finding courage, and getting started. Ali suggests that instead of just seeking motivation or discipline, understanding why we feel bad about work can be more effective. This leads to the first method, the 5 Whys method, developed by Sakichi Toyota, which involves asking why question 5 times to uncover the root cause of a problem. By clarifying the purpose of a task and determining its worth, this method sets the foundation for understanding our goals more deeply. From here, Ali presents NICE goals, which stands for Near-Term Input-Based Controllable and Energizing, as a motivational alternative to SMART goals. Unlike SMART goals, which focuses on specific outcomes and good for long-term goals, NICE goals, on the other hand, emphasizes a feel-good journey. It really allows you to enjoy that moment and process. For example, instead of setting a SMART goal to lose 20 pounds in 3 months, a NICE goal would be to exercise for 30 minutes daily with enjoyable activities, such as playing tennis or hiking. So this approach, building up on the clarity gained from the 5 whys method, ensures that your goals are not only clear but also inspiring and aligned with your passions. To further support goal achievement, Ali introduces the implementation intentions, a strategy where specific triggers for actions are established. So for example, to build a habit of drinking water every morning, you could establish a trigger. Whenever I walk into the kitchen, I will drink a glass of water in the morning. So this method is scientifically proven to improve long-term behavior. It helps you to automate positive actions and reduces that need for constant decision-making feeling. However, even with clear goals and plans, fear often blocks productivity. Ali explains that we have amygdala, a part of the brain that acts as a threat detector, which sometimes can overreact to perceived threats, leading to procrastination. Therefore, recognizing and understanding these fears is the first step towards overcoming them. For example, if you were worried to ask that promotion from your boss, or if you were worried to apply to a job, or ask some questions from professor or your boss or someone else, that is your amygdala. Even the fear of public speaking is your amygdala. And basically it's hijacking you. So it's also called amygdala hijacking. So one exercise to combat fear is the identity label, which is basically changing negative labels into positive ones because it can positively impact your behavior. For instance, instead of labeling yourself as bad at relationships after one big breakup, adopting a positive label can change your outlook and actions. Next, we have the 10-10-10 rule, which is another tool to combat fear. When feeling fearful, ask if the issue will matter in 10 minutes, in 10 weeks, or 10 years. This helps to put problems into perspective, reducing their perceived severity and making it easier to move forward with your plans. Because we all agree, most of the time we overthink, and sometimes the situation is not as bad as we think. To further ease the fear of judgment, Ali references psychologist Thomas Gilowicz's finding that people overestimate how much others think about them. Realizing what most people are primarily concerned with themselves can reduce anxiety and procrastination. Adopting the mindset that no one actually cares helps you to take actions without that fear of judgment, complementing the courage-building steps discussed earlier. Creating a conducive environment is also crucial for productivity. This includes having a dedicated workspace, blocking distracting websites, turning off your notifications, and setting some boundaries. For example, if you want to play guitar more often, place it on an easily accessible spot in your living room. This ties back to the implementation intentions, so making it easier to follow through on your goals, because you have that default choice there and you can see your guitar in your living room whenever you enter there. So basically, by doing this, what we're doing is we're creating our own system and environment that actually supports our productivity in the long term. And part 3 is sustain. So in this part of Ali's book, he shares insightful methods to help us maintain productivity in our everyday lives. So let's dive into these key strategies. First one is the energy investment portfolio. Imagine creating a to list, one for all your dreams, hopes, and ambitions, and another one for the activities that you're currently spending your time on. It could be your projects, school, work, or YouTube. It could be anything that you're investing your time at the moment. And Ali suggests limiting your active pursuits to 5 or fewer items in order to prevent yourself from burnout. So in order to limit our active lists, we need the power of no, because Ali emphasizes the importance of saying no, because saying no is as much as important as saying yes. Often we overcommit because we can't refuse additional tasks, which leads to burnout. Quoting Steve Jobs, he reminds us that focus isn't just about saying yes to what's important, it's about saying no to many other good ideas. This helps maintain clarity and focus, ensuring we prioritize what truly matters and doing the things you really care about. And with this one in mind, another one we need to think about is the opportunity costs. Ali introduces this concept, which is basically every yes means a no to something else you could have done with that time and energy. So this approach encourages mindful decision making, making sure your commitments align with your long-term goals and values. So whenever you're trying to make that yes or no decision, think about the opportunity cost, because when you say yes, you're saying no to something else that you could have done with that time and energy. So be mindful with your opportunity costs. And Ali encourages embracing energizing distractions, because breaks are essential for maintaining productivity. Drawing inspiration from Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh's practice of using a bell to remind people to be present, Ali suggests allowing space for serendipity and joy. Just to give you some background for that bell, basically there is this bell in monastery that rings randomly at any hour, and in that moment that reminds to the people, where they are, what they are doing, and how they are living in the present moment. So basically that bell ringing is that little moment of distraction, but that gives you that energy that you want. Ali suggests allowing some space for serendipity and joy even when you're trying to be productive and focused, because interacting with your loved ones during breaks can refresh and re-energize you. Nature therapy is another method. Basically, spending time in nature lowers the stress levels and rejuvenates our ability to concentrate. Ali suggests that even small interaction with nature, like having that picture of forest or tree in your room, or listening to that nature sounds, can boost your energy and reduce errors. This ties back to taking breaks and embracing that energizing distractions, because it will support your productivity and reduce your errors. And we have the Eulogy Method. Stanford Business School has this course called Lives of Consequence, and Professor Rod Kramer assigns his students to write their own obituaries as though they have lived an ideal life, the best they can imagine to its end. So similar to this, Ali introduces the Eulogy Method, where he asks, what would I feel good about someone saying in my eulogy? Think about what you would like a family member, a close friend, a distant relative, or coworker to say at your funeral. This question will help you to get at the question of what we really value from other people's perspective in our life. Because your loved ones will be talking about how you were as a person, your relationships, your character, your kindness, and who you were, really. They would talk about the positive impact you had on the world, not how much money you made for your employer. So answer this question now. What does the life you want people to remember in a few decades mean for the life you should build now? And lastly, we have the Odyssey Plan. The Odyssey Plan is created by Bill Burnett. This exercise asks you to reflect and write down 3 things: your current path, your alternative path, and your radical path. So in your current path, write down in detail what your life would look like 5 years from now if you continued down your current path. doing what you are doing at the moment. Your alternative path is basically writing down what your life would look like 5 years from now if you took a completely different path. And your radical path is where you write down what your life would look like 5 years from now if you took a completely different path where money, social obligations, and what people would think were irrelevant. And at the end of the book, Ali talks about the 12-month celebration and the 3 alignment quests. Basically, Ali encourages setting a 12-month celebration goal and identifying 3 daily actions that will bring you closer to this goal. By consistently taking these actions, you can make significant progress towards your long-term aspirations. At the end of the book, he says, don't rote learn your way to feel-good productivity. Experiment your way. This resonated deeply with me actually, because there is no one-size-fits-all approach or magic trick to being productive and feeling good. That's why I encourage you to explore all 54 different methods shared in his book and, craft your own system that adapts to different situations and that really works for you. So yeah, remember, productivity is personal, and finding what works best for you is the key to sustainable success. So until next time, take care and keep dreaming.